At 11, a man is dead after being shot by an LMPD officer in Crescent Hill this afternoon. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Alex Dieterer. Officers received calls for an intoxicated man yelling at neighbors. Once officers were on the scene, police say a struggle happened between officers and the man after he resisted being detained, and he then stabbed an officer before another officer shot him. WHAS 11 night teams Clarice Shaley and photojournalists Levi Hammer and Aspen Hester tell us how this quiet neighborhood was interrupted with gunfire on Easter Sunday.
No, the next thing I heard was a pop.
The fatal shot heard in the Crescent Hill neighborhood just off Frankfort Avenue.
I thought maybe it's a firework.
That bullet shot by an LMPD officer. Officers were called to an apartment complex off Arterburn Avenue to reports of an intoxicated man yelling at neighbors and breaking windows.
And heard this guy just yelling and screaming and cussing, and it went on for quite a while.
According to LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey, officers tried to talk to the man, noticed he had a knife, and told him not to touch it. He then approached the officers, who then tried to detain him, but the man resisted.
One of the officers attempted to deploy a taser, which was ineffective. During that struggle, the subject retrieved the knife and stabbed an officer in the chest. Fortunately, the vest that the officer was wearing stopped the knife and he was not injured.
Then the other officer shot the man in the head. Life-saving procedures were taken and the man was transported to U of L hospital where he was pronounced dead. Wind chimes and kids playing outside, those are sounds neighbors are used to hearing, making this incident even more unfortunate and out of the ordinary.
There is a lot of activity over on Frankfort Avenue across the tracks, but in this part of the area, it's really, really quiet.
It's like our little hamlet back here. You wouldn't even know you're on Frankfort Avenue.
Officers involved in the incident have been placed on paid administrative leave.
I would just like to give thanks that no one else was more seriously injured in a situation that could have been horribly worse.
The shock still settling in for the peaceful neighborhood. In Crescent Hill, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
The man's identity has not been released yet. The case is under investigation by LMPD's Public Integrity Unit. Body camera from the officers will be released in 10 days. And a man is dead after suffering from a gunshot wound to his leg and later crashing into another vehicle. This shooting happened early this morning around 3:30 on Bardstown Road at the intersection of Baxter Avenue. Now, according to officers, the man who was shot managed to get into his car and make it a short distance before crashing into another vehicle. He was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. The driver of the other vehicle was also taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Detectives are working to learn what led up to this shooting and what a possible motive could be. There are no known suspects at this time. Anyone with information is encouraged to call LMPD's anonymous tip line. That number is 574-LMPD. And a man is in custody after police say he shot another man multiple times in the Shawnee neighborhood. It happened on Lindell Avenue just off Broadway around 8 last night. According to court documents, 67-year-old James Schuler was returning home and walking towards his front door when he saw a man standing in his driveway telling him, quote, "I'm going to end you." The man allegedly reached for his waistband, but Schuler pulled out a concealed gun first and shot the man multiple times. He then placed the gun in his house and called 911. He later told police he never saw a weapon, and police shared that no weapon was recovered. Schuler also admitted he had never been threatened previously by this man. The victim was taken to U of L hospital and is in critical condition. And some devastating news here tonight. An Adair County 8th grader is dead after an overnight crash. That's according to a post from the school. In a release, Adair County Schools said the school community is grieving after Skylar Huckabee died early this morning. They say in part, quote, "Skylar was a bright and kind student, well loved by classmates, teachers, and staff. His presence in our halls brought energy and joy, and his absence will be profoundly felt by all who knew him," end quote. Tomorrow, grief counselors and support staff will be available at Adair County Middle School. Today, the Kentucky Harm Reduction Coalition and voices of community activists and leaders held a joint press conference demanding an end to what they say is targeted harassment of their organizations and the unhoused individuals they serve. This comes after both organizations were given 3 citations. They're claiming they're being penalized for conditions that existed long before the organization's presence.
We will not go away We're not going to stop helping. We're not going to stop doing what we can, when we can, how we can. And these are our brothers and sisters.
Kentucky Harm Reduction Coalition and Vocal Kentucky pushing back against the city of Louisville, claiming they're the victims of targeted harassment after both organizations received 3 citations from the city in 1 week.
This is a working class issue. It is a homeless issue. This is continuing to grow.
Both organizations serve the city's unhoused community at 721 and 723 South Brook Street.
Our team, over 2 years ago in 2022, we chose this space. We knew it was high needs. We knew this is where our people would be. We knew this is where we could do advocacy, services, and provide empathy and justice and compassion.
Vocal Kentucky Executive Director and Metro Councilwoman Shamika Parrish-Wright says the citations were given for urine, feces, and trash on their property. But Parrish-Wright says the photos on the citations were not their organizations.
Louisville lacks enough 24-hour services overnight when people choose to camp out, to sleep, or to do it or walk through here. Trash is gathered.
Instead of taking an aggressive stance, I challenge this administration. Work with Vocal Kentucky and Harm Reduction Coalition in getting trash receptacles.
Thank you for coming.
In scheduling trash pickup.
The organization signed a 10-year lease at these properties.
So when they give us all citations, they're putting pressure on the owners to terminate our leases.
I would hate for us to have to lose our space over here. I would hate for that to become my reality.
Kentucky Harm Reduction Coalition Executive Director Shrita Walden hoping there's a way forward together.
We will do this together. I don't need our city officials to be the ones to do the work. Allow us and support us to do the work.
We have reached out to the mayor's office for comment and have not yet heard back. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell is slightly changing his tune on President Trump's tariffs. However, he remains skeptical they will benefit Kentuckians. Kentucky's longest-serving senator made the comments earlier this week at the event in Kentucky. McConnell said he's never been a strong proponent of tariffs, but is hopeful President Trump's tax on foreign goods will be a success.
Put me down as not yet convinced that this is the best way to go, but we'll see. You know, maybe it'll turn out the way the president would like for it to turn out, but that's unfolding as we speak.
In the past, the former Senate leader has been critical of Trump's decision to tax foreign goods. In a social media post, McConnell called the strategy bad policy and said it would hurt working people most. Kentucky's other senator, Rand Paul, has been fighting hard against the tariffs, calling them not only bad for the economy, but bad for the Republican Party. Well, today on this warm Sunday, families at the Louisville Zoo celebrated Easter with a fun safari adventure. This scavenger hunt game allowed families to dive deep into the zoo while searching for hidden zoo-themed eggs, answering trivia questions, and completing special challenges.
It's a beautiful day at the zoo to come meet some of your favorite animal ambassadors and check out what's going on and take that scavenger hunt and spend some quality time with your family.
It's been a long time coming for this spring, especially with the rains and everything.
The Louisville Zoo's Safari Adventure event started at the end of March, and the event's last day was today.